MobilityWOD Dave Lee's Happy Birthday Part 2. Some would call it. I know. It has an airplane function. All right, so take a look at this. One of the easy pieces for Dave to work on is this jackhammering. I feel insane. Is actually we want to get him to work on the stiffness of the rib cage, especially below the scapula. So one of the things that I can do is have Dave flip on his back and try to get some movement through these tissues. And I'll show you, as a physio, these things are very stiff. In fact, if I'm not saying you should do this, but if I was in here, these tissues feel a little bit rigid. Like that's very rigid. Yes? Do you agree with that, Dave? Yeah, absolutely. And so one of the things that Dave can do is flip on his back, place this thing here, go ahead and flip on your back, and place this thing underneath his scap in that position, but go ahead and put your hand underneath your butt. So put him in the position we want, which is the position of emphasis to work on that internal rotation, and then he can roll around. He's on my soft table right now, but you get the idea. What's happening is he's rolling that ball next to his scapula the whole time, trying to create motion in those ribs. Put your head back and just relax. If I'm a super friend, I could even come over and press on him a little bit. Happy birthday, Dave! Woo! Right, and what we're trying to do is just get some motion in those ribs around that position. If I'm a super friend, I can keep his shoulders back and really hammer that stuff. And I'm not saying you should do that, I'm just saying it could be done, right? So go ahead and hop up real quick. On your back again. On your back again. We go and look at his internal rotation now. Is there any difference? Yes, we have a little bit more internal rotation in that position. Could I contract, relax here? Go ahead and hold that position. Absolutely, and release. And I can make sure that I'm not hammering or I'm just releasing those extra rotators. Go ahead and extra rotate. Release. The other thing that's going to see is that in these positions, a lot of times some of this tissue underneath the rib cage or underneath the clavicle here gets a little bit tight and short. And by kind of working on some of this stuff, he can end up in a better position. So this ball or a lacrosse ball or some ball could be working on all of this tissue as he puts his hand to the front. Because you can see how he's gotten short here, and I want to create space in order to let that shoulder come back, right? So let's go ahead and get him on his stomach. Puts that into this position, right into the pec, right below the clavicle, hand behind the back. Again, want to work on that internally rotated position, and then he rolls into the ball and tries to roll around. Again, as a super friend, I can be helping him, getting him some groove in there, right? You feel how that tight that is? Absolutely. And then can you lift your hand up off your back even? Oh! The problem you'll see is that his shoulder keeps coming forward a little bit, and he loses the scap. The whole scap wants to tip. This is why we look at thoracic extension and thoracic mobility as such a key piece to this internal rotation concept, right? Finally, hop up, right? Is this an issue of cueing? We've got him better cued. We've got him doing an internal rotation piece. We've got him working on a soft tissue here, and we've got him on a rib. And what you saw is that we just worked our way quickly through a cueing problem, a joint problem, a soft tissue problem, and a muscle problem. Make sense? Happy birthday, Dave.
Sweet, David.
You said it's
It won't